Okay, we're just having a pre-filming discussion here, and Jacob asked me what I'm going to talk about. And I said, cars. I want to know about your first car. So he said he stole it. So why did you steal your first car?
Yeah, well, I was praying the God to get me the car, and it never happened. So then I found a different way. So I stole the car, and I prayed to God for forgiveness.
Oh, okay. Excuse me. Well, that's good. So well done. We're sitting here in Panama. It's not a bad day. It's still warm, eh? And still challenging times, getting boats moved and stuff. When are you booked to go across?
Well, everything changed and everything was postponed, but I rescheduled everything yesterday, and I'm certainly going onshore tomorrow, which is the Saturday, and I booked the crane and the transport for Thursday.
Thursday, okay. So you'll be offloading on Thursday and then ready for hopefully Monday start. Yeah.
Should be okay. I'm trying to provision my boat now and get everything ready, sorted, so I only put up the mast, adjust the rigging.
Yeah, that's cool. So, you're a long way from home. How does that feel?
Yeah, and truly, I don't think I was ever so far from home. Definitely like different world for me, the world that I used to read in books about, like palms and the jungle and Cologne, dodgy town. I really enjoyed that part of the world.
Yeah, yeah. Although we're a bit isolated here, this is like any other marina, you might say, but it's a very nice other marina. This is a really nice one, and the people are good and things like that. But yeah, you've been sailing for a long time. Tell us really. Do you step sideways occasionally and say, "Geez, I'm in the middle of a round the world race," or is it just like a boat cruise, or is it just always work, or like I'm just trying to gauge your excitement.
Yes, that's a big one.
Yeah,
that's a big one. Excitement kind of governs my life all this race.
Yeah.
Because in fact, sometimes I wake up in the morning and I say, "What the bloody hell am I? What am I doing? I'm just an ordinary guy from some ordinary town. Never dreamed about the things like that, so big." But yeah, it is happening, and then well, I'm really excited about this. On the sea, I have so much work that I don't have enough time for myself. It gets better because now I'm kind of learning, sets of the sails, so I don't need to spend so much time trying different sails plans, and I have more time to read the books.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. When you wake up in the morning, you're thinking, what the hell am I doing? Because there's a strange thing that used to happen to me whenever we'd go away anywhere, at expedition or around a world race or whatever. Every day's a little bit the same. You know what I mean? Like I'm just telling you this so to see if you feel the same way, that no one day can be any bigger than the next, because you got, one day the sun comes up, goes down, next day sun goes down. And so every day, it's just one day after the other. You don't think the big picture. Do you get sucked into that routine? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you understand that?
Yeah, it is in a based on that. Like there's no big difference between the 2 weeks journey and the month's journey.
Absolutely, that's exactly what. Yeah.
So.
And I've had, I was doing a Q&A today, and one guy was asking the questions, said, it costs so much money, how much is it going to cost and all this sort of stuff. And I said to him, told him the picture because he's thinking next time, I said, but forget it. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about how long it's going to take and all this sort of stuff. Just decide if you want to do it. And if you want to do it, just get started and you go. So let's just step it back again to your situation. Tell us, and we've gone through a few times about your younger life and this, that and the other, but when you're finally triggered to start the project and bought the plans to start building the boat, how are you feeling then? Going back to there, can you relate to those emotions at the time?
Oh, pretty much, because this was the big change in my life. Like when I turned 50, I had a situation that my wife asked me for the divorce, so we agreed everything together. We haven't spent a penny for the solicitors, and we're still very good friends. But I said, okay, I got my freedom back. Okay, I still have my loved ones in a range. So now is the time I have to stop and rethink why I'm working like 6 days a week, very hard in a successful company, and I can't buy myself the things that I should be able to. So I stopped. I looked in the company, and I just walk away from that. I walk away from everything. I said I need to start a new life, and my new life would be all about sailing. I was never driven by the money in my life. So I started thinking this way, and what to do. The first plan was to buy the bigger yacht and live on board, and just cruise slowly from the place to the place. But then, obviously, finances didn't allow me to do that, so I had to kind of fall in work a little bit more, and I was reading about stuff, watching different videos and stuff, and obviously I knew Golden Globe race very well, and this was always my dream, because for me that's the most ultimate challenge for the sailor.
Keep the dream alive, by the way. Carry on.
For me, there is nothing more proving your seamanship than the Golden Globe race. And then I read about you and the mini globe race, and then who is the constructor and stuff, and I said, oh, that would be cool, that would be nice, and because I can fulfill my dream like 100% by building the boat, which was the oldest part of my dream, and sailing this around the world. But then how to secure my position, because to build a boat I need to sacrifice myself in total, in full, like financially and time-wise and everything. If I don't get a place in the race, that would be disaster then. And I remember I was kind of trying to write, I think I even wrote you the email, but then I read you writing to someone else, because probably more people was writing about the same thing to you, and you were like this type of the adventure guy. If you doubt, you just better sit back in your house and keep watching TV.
That's exactly right.
If you feel you should go, just go for it, Yeah. And this was the trigger sentence what I read, and I said, oh fuck yeah, I'm just going for that, And I asked my landlady, Deidre, can I build a shed and build a boat inside? And said, oh yeah, no problem, because we are very, very good friends.
Yeah.
And she's one of my kind of best mate in our team.
Yeah.
So I built a shed, and she saw the size of the shed, she saw the size of the boat, and what is the adventure about? I was like,
She just probably think you better build a warehouse.
Yeah.
And you build a backyard shed.
So, but I was so excited when I built the frame and I put them on and started to see the shape of the boat. It was like a very big uplifter.
Yeah.
But then when the sanding comes, like sanding,
Too big.
and more
you wish you had a
sanding,
small one.
I was so bloody hell exhausted. I was so exhausted.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Excuse me.
for the next few months, I was like on the autopilot.
Yeah.
Like epoxy resin nearly has eaten my skin.
Yeah.
I had so much allergy, I still can suffer of this. But doesn't matter.
There's a lesson there. People got to remember that. Yeah.
I just don't care about those things,
Yeah.
I'm doing something so extraordinary.
Yeah.
So I still have a situation back then, I had to sacrifice everything.
Yeah.
Thankfully, my kids, they understand this.
Yeah.
So they're waiting, but it might happen when I come back, I'll be like, put the cuffs on, go to jail, taxman is after me, but well, I don't care what's gonna be after.
Yeah. I had to stop coughing.
I'm here now and
doing a great job. You're slightly crazy, not for doing the race, but you just get too excited when you hit port again. You're doing silly things. Is that part of what you've always done in life? You know what I mean?
Silly things like the way to make the people laugh at
pirates or bloody, whatever,
Because it's like all my body, all my heart is in this.
Yeah.
So the most enjoyable part of this race is our crew.
Yeah.
Because from the very first second, we were like brothers and sisters, like really tight family.
Yep.
And I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
And when you get to the destination, you just can't wait until you meet others, and then you go
hear
for
their
the
stories and have fun.
Party.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like make people laughter. I don't like people being sad. And if they laugh at me, I have no problem with that.
I'm the same. I laugh too often. People drives them nuts. Drives me nuts too sometimes. But anyway, part of the course. Okay, so how's your health? How's your health going? Do you feel healthier or the same or whatever after this far?
My biggest problem was my knees, because I destroyed my knees during the sports career.
In your sports career, yeah. Why? Tell people why.
Well, I used to do lots of fighting sports, and mainly the wrestling when I was younger. Then when I was older, I used to do jiu-jitsu, and fighting is kind of like very addictive sport. And even now, it's like before I was 40, I still start pushing again, because I fell in love with the jiu-jitsu completely, and I was going for the competitions. That means you have to train a lot. And I tore my ligaments in one stage. I was 40.
Wow.
And then I said, okay, that's it. I'm not doing anymore. But when I stopped doing the sport, all my muscles relaxed.
Yeah.
I still was doing some heavy work, putting lots of pressure on my knees, and then
Pay the price.
pay the price.
Yeah.
So
not under warranty anymore.
before the journey, I get the set of the injection to my knees.
Yeah.
So and still I was like, I had them in my mind that I cannot twist my leg, I cannot land on my knees. But having so much sun and healthy diet, I have no problem with my knees.
Yeah,
The
good.
biggest problem apparently is with my bum.
What's the problem, asshole?
from sitting in the wet pants.
Oh, right. Well, take your pants off.
That's what I've done last 2
Yeah,
weeks.
absolutely.
You know? Yeah, but
Yeah.
but still, in a sitting position is not my natural position,
Yeah.
and too much time on the bum, it just drives me
Yeah.
crazy.
Have you got EVA foam on the boat, or is it paint?
No, I have a
You got a
EVA
cushion
foam.
thing as well,
I have a
yeah.
foam. I bought
Yeah, yeah.
some things, but
Yep.
still, it's getting better. I'm getting used to it.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of Sudocreme. You know, do you use Sudocreme? Sudafed?
I had
Sudocreme,
this summer, but I don't know what it is in my bum. I'm gonna
It's
buy
in the-
one in the
Well, there's some
pharmacy.
in the first aid kit. There's a little
Alright.
little jar of Sudocreme in the first aid kit.
Okay.
Right? And it's like for nappy rash. It's fantastic. You know.
I got a baby nappies in Lagos from one guy.
Nappies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, if it gets really bad, you know, yeah. But
In Lagos, before we started, I made friends with an old English gentleman,
yeah,
Chris Freary.
yeah,
And he was former boat builder and
Yeah, yeah.
sailor and stuff. And
Yeah.
before we departure, he said, "Oh, Jacob, I got a present for you." And he handed me the Pampers, the baby nappies pack. And I said, "Pff, okay, I have so much stuff in my boat, but you know, you get a present, you just say thank
yeah,
you.
yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah.
And he said because the rowers, the people they row
Yeah,
across the
yeah.
Atlantic, they used to put this on the head to keep the head dry, to absorb all the moisture.
On their head,
Yeah.
nappy on the head.
Yeah,
Right.
so absorbs the moisture and from the sweat
Yeah.
and the water.
Yeah.
So and then when I had a problem, I was changing the pants for the dry ones.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
you know, half an
Yep,
hour and
Yeah,
they,
they're wet
they
again.
got wet again. So and this, oh jeez, I have the nappies. So I
Yeah.
pulled the nappies out and yeah, they're quite small. I put
Yeah.
one on one side, another on the other side, put my pants over. So
Okay.
for the 3 days, yeah, I got better thanks to
yeah,
that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, so so how about so you're reasonably healthy. You haven't taken any injuries at all from falling, or
I hit my ankle a couple of times, but
what about the head? Do you wear a helmet? Is the helmet down below? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the helmet because, well, never had the problems with this, but
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, it's interesting because we're just doing the notice of race for the next edition. And I'm thinking about making it a requirement, but because if you get it cut up really bad, it'd be good to wear a helmet just in case you get thrown down below. But anyway, we digress. It's beautiful plain sailing from here. More trade winds.
You think so?
Yeah. So okay. So why are you the middle of the fleet and not up the front?
Because I want to be with the guys.
Hang on, let me. How does that work? You want to be with the guys, so you're in the middle of the fleet. Oh, I see. Up the front, you're lonely. Yeah. Okay, that'll do.
Well, like I was never the racer. However, now a little bit kicks off in me, and I'm thinking like not about the pushing the race to win. I'm thinking about the how can I make myself sail faster,
Yeah.
despite all the competitors, and because the fast sailing is the safe sailing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm getting more trust in my boat.
Yep. You're happy with the boat? Like you wouldn't change much, you know? Like you worry about anything on the boat?
Probably some things I have overspec.
Overspec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put lots of those anchor point when you clip in, they all 10 millimeters wire.
Yeah.
So they're super solid because in my imagination was if I'm full weather gear on a strap, so being pulled with the boat, so I might be like half a ton.
Yeah.
Plus, I did some kind of a reinforcement, and this is why my boat is, I think, a little bit heavier than the others. But from the other hand, I don't expect any injuries or breakage.
Yeah. That's cool. All right, that's good. So, and what about your autopilot wind vane scenario? Like, you're happy with your self-steering systems?
Wind Pilot I bought second hand
Yeah.
because I couldn't buy the new one, and so it was cheap enough, and it's one of the kind of good brands.
Yeah.
And I managed to get some spare parts.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy with this with the stuff. It's very
Yeah, good.
forgiving. Sometimes if I'm too lazy or too tired and it's not very well adjusted, still can keep the boat steer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's always a fear if I catch some Sagrasso seat and might break something.
Yeah.
But I've built another one myself,
Yeah.
which is type of from the Janusz. Mm-hmm. He sailed the Atlantic on the self-built one, and I have.
On which one?
We call this Szorstki Janusz.
Short skianus. Right. Yeah.
That
The short
means,
ski bum.
So it's basically it's a kind of big plywood wing.
Yeah.
It gets the wind and has like circular.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's I wouldn't rely on that, but
Yeah.
I have this as a backup.
Oh, so it's on board.
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
So,
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
I built this from the scraps,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah, the ultimate
doesn't
emergency.
weigh
Well, the
weigh
sectors
low.
use them sometimes in the beginning. Sectors
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
use
yeah,
them. Yeah, yeah.
So I have this as my backup.
Yep, good. Okay. And so, what about your electrical system? Been doing okay?
It's perfectly done.
Yeah?
It's amazingly done. It's done by non-electrician.
Yeah.
It's by my very good friend, and he's so handy. He can like engine and electrical stuff, electronics. So
Yeah.
he's like brilliant.
Yeah.
But he is a sailor, so
Yeah.
he designed this with a like very tough sailing purposes.
Yep, yep.
So it's a bulletproof system.
Yeah.
It's a backed up.
Yep, yep.
So if the one side breaks off, I can just switch and I have
yeah.
another side on.
Yep, perfect. We've got a helicopter about to land over there somewhere. It's going to get a bit noisy, but that's fine. Should muffle it out. Oh, here he comes. Okay, I think does he want to pick you up and take you back to your boat? There's a
Army.
ex-naval aviation station right next door to the marina here, which would have been built by the Americans a long time ago, maybe. Yeah, but anyway, very few actual movements, and today's the first day they've actually done anything. But that's helicopter took off hour or so ago, and now it's come back. Anyway, we can hear that. So electrical's good, structure's good. You're still in the water now. You're about to come out this week, do the anti-fouling. Anything else you got to do? Like no jobs that failures or big servicing?
Nothing major. I'm still thinking about the anti-fouling because when I came, boat was like spotless clean.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of growing a little bit because we're in the marina.
Yeah.
And I put the 4 coats of Micron 350 on the very beginning.
How many coats?
4.
4.
Yes.
It'll still be fine.
Should be.
Yeah.
I might kind of do some little bit of touch up because I have some nice eyes which I love on my boat.
Yes. They're getting a bit misty now.
So the basic thing is investigate just to check the keel, in the purpose of the rusty stuff
Yep.
or some like this type of things.
Yep.
And then I want to check the pins on the rudder.
Right. Yeah.
And I want to dismantle the wind pilot.
Yep.
And check all the fittings, screws.
Yep. That's cool. All right. So
Only
you're looking
that.
pretty organised. What have you found that you're missing on board when you're sailing? Like something that you'd rather, you'd say, geez, I wish I had that, or God, I wish I could go to the pictures and watch a decent movie for a change, or whatever.
I have no music, and I don't struggle with this.
No music. Why no music?
Well, I never had the time to think about this, and I'm not very good with electronics. So getting this Spotify and downloading some music is just taking so much time.
Yeah.
I wish I have a guitar, so then I could play the guitar a little bit.
Do you normally play the guitar?
Not much. I'm not a good player.
You've never played before, but you want to play one. Well, you
No,
should.
I do play.
Yeah.
Like simple things.
I think there's 2 or 3 ukuleles on the boat. You better get a ukulele.
We try them, but no, ukulele is too small for my
Oh, okay.
farmer's hands.
Yeah. There you go.
But no, I don't struggle. I sing a lot because I love shanties and the sea songs. And
That's where it comes from.
I know thousands of them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I can sing all the time.
Did you get a Starlink?
I got a Starlink now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm gonna set it up because then I need to think about the finances. Would I be able to kind of cover this up?
Yeah, it's
So,
expensive, eh? Not buying it. Buying it's cheap.
but
paying the
but
monthly.
would be nice to send some updates from the sea, some
Yeah.
pictures, you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, yeah, the seagoing rate is expensive, right? Hundreds of euros. But if you get the normal one, it's coastal roaming, and after you get to Marquises, there's a lot of coastal stuff. You'll be, you know, so it wouldn't be everything, but it's a much cheaper every month, you know. But anyway, that's for later. We can chat about that.
Okay. I have a stuff, and like now, lots of sailors they had a big advantage because they could check the currents and go with the currents, and I saw this, you know, that they changed the position and they were much faster. So I said, I don't want to lose position. Now I came 8. Yeah. So two position better. Now I like to come 6.
Yeah. This is where it becomes another war, where you it comes down to money. You know, money helps you go fast.
Yes.
And that's the fact of life. But that's what the trade-off with having free communications. You know, there's no restrictions. So that's cool. And what about food? Are you sort of happy with the food that you got on board? What are you eating? What are you?
I like over the Atlantic. I cook a lot.
Yeah.
I cook a lot. And
what were you cooking?
Simple stuff. Simple stuff.
What simple stuff?
Like pasta, carbonara, those ready things. You just heat it up, boil the pasta, then you add all those things. Yeah. Lots of like veggies and the fruits. Yeah. Like plenty of them. From the Antigua was a problem because all the Antigua's fruits they were not artificial.
Super fresh. Yeah.
They were not artificial. Like on the continent, so they were more natural, so they went off quicker. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So the stuff's pretty good here, though. Because the veggies are good. Okay. And much cheaper.
Yeah. How much water are you going to take on the next leg? Because it's a big one. It could be 50 days, you know.
Like I was estimating is for the 180 or 200 liters of fresh water.
Yeah.
However, now I managed to buy the desalinator. One of the supporters bought me the desalinator, so I have this packed. I never use that. Yeah. So that gives me peace of mind. If I run out of the water, because the thing might happen, you might damage the container with the water.
Yeah, exactly.
And something might happen, and having this desalinator as a backup.
Yeah. So just to clarify for people listening, we seal the desalinators when they leave, so they can't use it. But if something happens, you just break the seal and you take the time penalty. You know, so yeah, saves a bit of effort. That's cool. Do you see any new challenges? Like, well, there's plenty of new challenges coming in the next leg. But how do you think you'll cope with all that? You know, and you see that as an advantage, or are you looking forward to this big one?
Well, the big challenge was for me was like sailing Atlantic.
Yeah. Okay.
Because first time I was on my own, such a small boat on such a big water. Yeah. And everyone says the Pacific would be pretty much the same.
Yep.
Maybe even
just a timeline thing.
Timeline thing. Same thing. I never feel lonely.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of like naturally lonely guy. Yeah. And I like the time with myself.
Yeah.
But if I am with the people, I love to be with the people.
Yeah.
I think challenge would be psychological.
Yeah.
Because like all my life, when I was looking at the maps and you know, when the Google Earth came. Yeah. And we all were looking the Earth. Yeah. You can rotate. Yeah, and then there's the one perspective. You rotate the Earth and you only see the blue. Water.
Yep.
And I was always saying, I love to be in that right in the middle. Was the farther to the land than to the moon.
Yeah. That's cool.
So I'm really looking forward to this. Yeah. But it might be hard, might be challenging because of being so far away, you know that whatever happened, they won't come for you.
Yeah. Well, let's wait and see. Touch wood.
You might be happy because someone might be nearby, like, you know.
Yeah, true. So Yeah, God, you threw me on that one because hopefully if something happened, someone will come for you, so don't feel bad, right?
I remember the situation with the tapio Lehtinen, when
Yeah.
how all you reacted, how everything was, smartly
yeah,
and
yeah.
well done, organized bank,
yeah.
and he was rescued.
Yeah. We were monitoring that from the plane in the sky in the end. It was quite funny, but anyway, all good. All right, so we're now coming to a point where we'll be out of here on the Pacific side, and it's new ports, new destinations. Have you had a look at the Marquises? Do you know where you're going? Do you realise what a paradise it could be? Are you starting to get excited about things like that?
I haven't prepared myself yet. So
Yeah.
I know I need to check the waves problem and the currents problem.
Yeah.
Getting into the marina. So I didn't study this yet.
Yeah.
I know where the Marquesas here
Yeah.
are.
You do. That's good.
I'm
Jasmine had no idea.
I'm planning to go to Nukuhiva.
Yeah. Okay.
And just enjoy the place.
Yeah. Absolutely. And we'll be waiting for you with great anticipation in Fiji. That's going to be fun. Fiji's great. So that's all good. Do you think there's going to be something that no? Do you ever look so far forward to visualize the finish, like being back in Antigua, or because quite often I used to visualize things, like a year later you think, wow, it's going to be amazing, we're going to be back in Antigua, you know what I mean, and then it's all over and
Not
start thinking
yet.
what's next.
Not
Still
yet.
too early. We've just started.
Not yet, because like naturally there was when I was selling on my own, it was like such a huge fear.
Yeah.
Like I was never afraid of the water in my life.
Yeah.
Never ever, until I sat in Ireland into my BB.
Yeah.
And with intention to go across the Biscay. And now I said, okay, that's serious. I'm on my own on the boat that wasn't even built by the boat builder. So, and okay, let's do it. And then every leg, every journey, I was like more confident.
Yeah.
But still, only after Atlantic, I built everything to the stage that I can go more. So my thinking is up to Cape Town.
Yeah.
Actually, up to even the Durban, because there's so many legends about the passage of Durban to Cape Town.
Yeah.
That I'm still worrying about this.
Yeah, if the weather was right, you'd go straight from Mauritius to Cape Town, but it's highly unlikely. But,
I know that probably by the time I will get there, it'll be just another day in the office.
It's too far ahead to think about, eh?
For now,
I got to say, I'm quite, from my perspective as the organizer of the event, I'm feeling very confident about certain things, and I can visualize the fleet getting into Cocos and then moving forward, and we're already having to plan Cape Town. We're involved with that, and I can actually see the fleet arriving. It's quite a strange feeling because
I think it's amazing because I was sure that by the time we were here, there'll be some resignations.
No, I know exactly what you mean, because every event we do, there's, like the GGRs, we get 18 starters or something, get 3 finishes, but this is completely different.
This is a problem because some people they thought, there's gonna be some resignation by the time we are in Antigua. I'm gonna buy some stuff half price from them.
Oh yeah,
it didn't happen,
Yeah, exactly. Well, Fiji's the next big stop. I think everyone will touch wood. There's a strong possibility everyone will get to Fiji, and hopefully everyone keeps going from there. So
I see like problematic could be navigating all between those islands, because this is completely different world sailing wise, which I'm not used to.
Yeah.
My worries are about the Torres Strait.
Yeah.
And Arafura Sea.
Yeah.
There's also some legends in there.
Yeah.
Probably some currents, and having no engine, you really have to plan your journey.
Yeah. Wise words they were, because yes, Torres Strait is a big one. I think you'll be surprised how easy navigating between the islands is. Mm-hmm. It's when you get to the islands and you want to get into the lagoons, that's when it gets tricky. And even in 5.8m it's challenging, to get into the port, and then you've got to sail down in between the lagoon, and then the Tongan anchorage is very tricky, but that's part of the beauty and the challenge of sailing the Pacific, I suppose.
Is like deep water over there, or? for the
It is.
anchor?
You could, everything's before you. It's all on the charts. It's all on the chart plotter, all that sort of stuff. But the sailing side's got limitations, little boats. But you'll see, it's a whole new challenge, and it's very satisfying. When you read the notice of rave, the sailing instructions, we're warning everyone, don't try this in dark.
Yeah.
So if you might arrive at a port pass you're about to try and go through, and it starts to get dark, there'll be so many temptations to go rather than have to wait for 10 hours. But you just can't do it. You try it in the dark and you're going to be in real trouble, you know. So there's new challenges like that, but there's only one. That's only Tonga. 5.8 you could get into the harbour. So, but anyway, well, I don't need to tell you what's going on.
Usually about 4 or 5 days before, I'm calculating and I'm monitoring
Everything.
my time of arrival.
Yeah.
And like naturally, I'm avoiding to get into the night.
Yeah.
There was only one exception when I came to Panama.
Yeah.
Because the night was peaceful. There was very little
it's
wind.
easy. It's breakwater with lights.
Such a light water. And normally I would stay outside for the daylight.
Yeah.
But I had Eric on my back.
No, that's a shipping entrance. You're okay. The shipping entrance ports like that, it's not so bad, you know. So that was easy. That's a nighttime arrival place. But you'll understand when you look at the charts for the Tonga arrival, you'll see exactly what I mean, you know. Anyway, that's all good. Anything you want to wrap up with, you know, like you want to, your supporters or friends or anything like that, or something I didn't ask you, you know, like, are you taking nappies again on the next leg?
No, like, you know, because like all my project is based on the friendship.
Yeah.
Like before, I never even knew how much support will I need.
Yeah.
So, and I would be nowhere if I don't have a friends.
Yeah.
And I like to just to thank them, you know, like really big thanks to all my team, which is quite big, and all my supporters and the sponsor, because you see, so like sometimes people when I was asking for some support from companies, they why are you doing this? What's the point? What's the sense? You know, and then I came up with the answer. Look, there are the people who will never understand.
Yeah.
And there are the other people who you don't even have to explain.
Yeah.
So, and I like to thank to all my sponsors and supporters to be those people. Then you don't have to explain why, and they are part of my project, and I think about them all the time.
Yeah, cool. Any coming out to Fiji? You got anyone coming out to meet up?
No.
Nope.
It's quite distance. My manager
it's a long way.
did a lot. He came to Antigua. He was with me. So big thanks for John, and he's a really great guy. And I'm really happy with his management.
Yep.
He's a very experienced sailor.
Yep.
He's a former army guy.
Yep.
So he knows the drills. He knows how serious situation can be. He does not ignore anything. So.
Yeah, no, perfect. All right, that's good. Well, it's crazy having you involved, Jacob. Always fun. We look forward to, I can't imagine what it's going to be like when we catch up in Fiji. Jeepers.
We have a St. Patrick's celebration soon.
Yeah, that's true too. Jeepers. Bloody hell, the world's kind of warped at the moment. Anyway, all right, good job. Good luck with the anti-fouling and trip across, and we'll see you, well, we're going to see you in a minute when I turn this off.
Thank you, Don.
Thanks, mate. See you. Yeah, he's crazy Irishman. Crazy Irishman, Polish guy, you know. Jeepers, I thought he was going to... Oh, rainbow. Hang on, there's a rainbow. Wow. He's bloody... That's pretty cool.